Hi there, welcome back, and we're back again. And today we're going to spend the next 2 days looking at the alternate commanders from the two pre-con decks. So today we're kicking off with, well, the deck card you're here for, you already know about, is Kilo, Apogee Mind, Jexus, Jinkata, I can't remember how you say it now. Jeskai, that's the phrase I'm looking for. Blue, red, and white for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature robot artificer. And whenever Kilo becomes tapped, proliferate, comes with haste. Now, every single deck I've seen based on Kilo so far has been about chucking around +1/+1 counters and charge counters. And yeah, if you want to play one of them, feel free, go and look another video up, no issue with that. But please hit the like, subscribe, share button before you go to help me beat the YouTube algorithm. I've taken a slightly different take on Kilo today, so hopefully this one will perk your interest. So here we go. Here's what today's deck really does look like. Now, that's not to say I'm not playing around +1/+1 counters with Kilo, just so we're clear on this. So, you know, the first three creatures are Hangerback Walker, so we can get some +1/+1 counters on here, and then get some Thopter tokens when he dies. Market Back Walker, so we can draw some cards when it dies, and then Walking Ballistas, so we can basically remove some +1/+1 counters and start pinging things. Okay. But Guide of the Souls probably tells you where I'm going with this deck, because I'm really looking at energy. Now, I did check you can proliferate your energy counters. I'm aware of that because it is a counter, so it is targetable by proliferate. So I've gone down the energy route with this deck mainly today. So a lot of the cards we have involve energy, and that's where we're going to go with. So Guide of the Souls, we know creature enters, you gain a life and gain energy. Astral Assault Tron Dominator is also in. From Fallout, comes into play, you get 2 energy, and then whenever an artifact creature you control attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, put your choice of a +1/+1 counter, first strike or trample counter on that creature. Okay. Enthusiastic Mechanaut just cuts the cost of our artifact spells down by 1, and then Grateful Apparition does the whole proliferation thing, so you'll see a lot of, yeah, you know the ones that are coming up. Riddlegate Gargoyle comes in, gives us 3 energy. When we attack, we can put a lifelink counter. We give a creature lifelink until the end of turn. And then Thrumming Bird does all our proliferation for us again. Dr. Madison Lee from Fallout also makes an appearance. Gives us energy when we cast artifact spells. And then we can pay an energy to give a creature +1/+0 trample and haste until the end of turn. Or 3 energy to draw a card. Or 5 energy to return target artifact card from our graveyard to the battlefield tapped, which can really help with the amount of energy we're hoping to generate. Emissary of Soulfire, old skill coming in. Into battlefield, you get 3 energy, and you get to put an exalted counter on a target creature you control as a sorcery for 2 mana. So, you know, gives you a way of getting through some big damage. Flux Channeler, cast non-creature spell proliferate. Foundry Inspector cuts the cost of our artifacts down. Lulu Stern Guardian, whenever a creature opponent attacks you, choose the target creature attacking you, you put a stun counter on that creature. That's fine. Slows down the attacks you're getting. But 3 in a blue, proliferate. Thank you. Whirler Virtuosa. If we've got enough energy, we can make a whole load of Thopters in the air to go attacking with. And then from 40 Kane, Belzarius Call comes in. Tap 2 untapped artifacts we control. Create a 2/2 white Astairs warrior creature token. Guess what? Kilo's an artifact. Okay, yeah. There's going to be a lot of ways of tapping Kilo as well in this deck to get the proliferation on the go. Capicotti Sunborn comes in. We can tap 2 untapped artifacts or creatures to discover 3. Hello. And Kath, Famed Mechanist comes in, sorry, for the fabrication, and then we can pay the 2. Gives all of the creatures fabricate, which is nice, all our non-token creatures anyway, so we get a whole load of servos running around. And then we can either pay 2 to proliferate or populate. I think we'll be paying 2 to proliferate a lot of the time, won't we? Lodestone Mire just gives us another way to tap our artifacts to make this bigger until the end turn. Another way of tapping Kilo. And Tilukutha Inquiry Dominus also makes an appearance, because if we're going to proliferate, we're going to proliferate twice. And hopefully we can get some counters off some things to make him indestructible. Yeah. Liberty Prime Recharge from Fallout also makes an appearance. It attacks or blocks sacrifice unless you pay 2 energy, but it's an 8/8 for 5 mana, so we can cope with that. But we can sacrifice an artifact and get 2 mana, 2 energy and draw a card if we need to. Norn's Choir Master. Yep. First strike, whenever a commander you control enters the battlefield or attacks, you get to proliferate. Thank you. Sphinx of the Revelation. Whenever you gain life, you gain that much energy. But then you can pay white, double blue, pay X energy and draw X cards. Yeah. All right then. The Motherlode Excavator, also from Fallout, comes in. Enters the battlefield, choose target opponent, you get amount of energy equal to the number of non-basics lands they control, and when it attacks you may pay 4, and when you do, destroy target non-basic land defending player controls, and creatures that player controls without flying can't block this turn, so it gives you a nice way of doing some alpha striking when you've got the energy level up. Vault Storm Angel just comes in to give us a 3 energy, and then we can pay the 2 to give the Angel Vigilance and Lifelink, or pump all our creatures up each combat step. Because we are playing a lot of artifacts, Kappa Cannoneer is a bit of a no-brainer. Territorial Hellkite, Aetherkite, however, is more fun. When this creature enters, you get 2 energy, and then you may pay 1 or more energy, and when you do, this creature deals that much damage to each other creature. Yeah, okay, so technically, and it is technically, assuming no one's got any indestructible stuff, you can probably get enough energy to wipe the board when you play this and still attack for 6 with someone. Ether Squall Ancient is just silly. Beginning of your upkeep, you may get 3 energy. That's fine. And then you can pay 8 energy, if I remember correctly. Yep, and return all other creatures to their owner's hands. Yeah. Okay. And finally, Salvation Colossus, Flying Vigilance Trample. You may, whenever you attack, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain indestructible. And then you can pay 8 energy to unearth it if you really need to at some stage. Sorceries, just the 2. Collective Effort from 40k land. So we can tap an untapped creature we control to escalate. Yeah, okay then. So we can do 2 of these because we can tap Kilo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this, don't you? And Localized Destruction, you get energy. Then you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, each creature you control with power equal to the amount of energy, each creature you control power equal to the amount of energy paid this way gains indestructible to the end of turn and destroy all creatures. So it is a kind of a board wipe. You're probably going to have to pick which one you've got when you play it, but it does help out. So, you know, that's fine. Instance, Experimental Augury, so we can proliferate and look at the top 3 cards and put one in our hand. And then some more ramp with Serum Snare, so we can bounce something and proliferate it, if it's less than 3, that is anyway. Electro Siphon comes in from Fallout. Counter target spell and we get energy equal to the mana value of the spell we countered. Steady Progress just gives us a way to proliferate and draw another card at instant speed. And Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, draw 2, get 2 energy. Thank you very much. Artifacts is where it starts to come together though. So we have Soul Ring, obviously, but then we have Springleaf Drum, which we can tap an untapped creature we control to add 1 mana of any colour. Hello, Kilo. Arcane Signet is also in as well, just to help us get that extra mana on the go. And then Glass Blower's Puzzle Knot gives us 2 energy when it comes in. Is it Generatum comes in. If you get 1 or more energy, get that many +1, and then draw a card. Activate it if you only paid or lost 4 or more energy this turn. So it gives you a way of drawing a card for free with the energy we're hopefully going to create through proliferation. Solar Transformer. Where are you? Okay, here you go. Enter battlefield tapped, you get 3 energy. You can tap it to just add a colourless, or then pay an energy to add 1 mana of any colour. Then we've got 1 of each of the talismans in: Conviction, Creativity and Progress. Conversion Apparatus is also in, added colourless. Pay 3, you get 3 energy, or you can pay 3 energy and add 3 mana in any combination of colours. Phyrexian Ironworks. There you go. Whenever you attack, you get an energy counter, and you can pay 3 energy to get a colourless golem if you need to at sorcery speed. Relic of Legends just gives you another way to tap down Kilo to get that mana you need. And Simulacrum Synthesizer. Yeah, enters battlefield, scry 2. Whenever another artifact with mana value 3 or greater enters, you get a construct token, basically. So, yay, we like this. Payoff card, Aetherworks Marvels here. Let's pay all that lovely, lovely energy and go and find one of our top 6 cards and play it for free. Panharmonicon just gives us a doubling trigger for some of the energy stuff when it comes into play because they're artifacts. Unwinding Clock lets us untap all our artifacts, including Kilo, so we can tap them again to proliferate more if we need to. Stone Idol Generator, yeah, I like this one. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you get an energy, and pay 6 energy, you get a 6/12 colorless construct artifact creature token. You can only do it at sorcery speed, but it does have trample and it's quite easy to use as a big blocker if we need it to. Finally, Aetherflux Conduit is also in. Hopefully, we will get to 50 energy and just play our top 7 spells with no real cost at all apart from the 50 energy. Pardon, and finally, Pardon the Steel Flagship. Everyone keeps laughing at me, so I've got a bit obsessed with this card recently, I'll be fair, from Fallout. But non-token artifacts entering gives us 2/2 knights, and this creature gets +2/+2 as long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn. You can crew it for 2 as well, so another way of tapping Kilo if you need to get it for a 6/6 in the air, but I can't fault it. Enchantments, well, Era of Innovation comes in whenever an artifact or an artificer, so all our artifacts plus Kilo, enter, pay 1 and get 2 energy, and then we can pay 5 energy and sacrifice 6 energy, and sacrifice at some stage, draw 3 cards. Anonymous Seas, because we're going to be card drawing, we might as well do this as well. This is another target we can proliferate, so we can get those 8/8 Krakens out. Ether Revolt is a strange one. I must admit, I forgot this card existed, and I've gone back and changed the deck list and added it in before I started recording this. As long as the permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, if a sorcery deal will do non-combat damage to opponent, it does that much damage +2. That's fine. However, whenever you get 1 or more energy, Ether Revolt deals that much damage to any target. So you can ignore the revolt bit, because you're just going to get energy and just start pinging things or shocking things or lightning bolting things or whatever you do. But that energy gaining for this and this thing just sitting there as a pinger that you don't have to activate or do anything for is amazing. Opposition's in for a bit of a laugh. Another way for us to tap Kilo down and some of other things to make sure we can do it. But we can untap if we need to. We could tap another creature we control to untap Kilo to tap it again to proliferate. So, you know, you can go into a loop with this one, believe it or not. Because you can tap target, so you can tap an untapped creature and tap target artifact, creature or land. You can kind of go into a bit of a circle sometimes, so it's quite nice. Storm the Vault to give us all the treasures, which I love. Vault 1/1/2, the Sadistic Simulation is also here. Tap up to 1 target creature, put a stun counter on it, give us 2 energy. And then when we get to stage 3, assuming this Saga's left on the board and let us get to that level, you can pay any amount of X. If you paid 1 or more energy this way, shuffle your library and then exile that many cards from the top. You may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. That's nice. Inexecutive Tide is also in. Whenever we cast a spell, we get to proliferate, and that's it for all the spells. And then the lands are just what you'd expect them to be for red, white, and blue. They're all here, as you can see, quite happily. I will point out that I have included, however, Academy Runes, just in case our artifacts get killed off, and it gives us a way of chucking them back on top of our library if we need to. And that's it. I did say this one was a little bit off the curve that everyone's talking about with Kilo, because everyone is obsessed with the +1/+1 counters. I want to try something different. I thought energy would be a fun one. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of the deck, if you think there's anything I've missed out that should be included. I will probably come back to Kilo at some stage in the next month or so and look at the +1/+1 counter deck, just because I want to try and get something else out, or it may be some later on down the line when people are thinking about it. But hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, comments, let me know what I've missed out. Please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the share button, help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll be back tomorrow with the other alternate commander from the commander deck. So for now, take care, have fun, see you soon, bye.